And we're live. Look at that. Labyrinth, War and Terror. This is our second game. The first time we had an open hand. We just saw that it's a hard game. I'm America. Draper is jihadist. Yeah, jihad. Let's see if we can see the rest. Oh, this is going to be interesting. There we go. There we go. Now, if you want to start.
Yes, so the jihadist plays first. And let's see here.
This is a hard game, guys.
Yeah.
This is my second crack at it.
Yeah, so jihadist activities, basically, you recruit, roles or automatically succeed in regime change countries. What about in Islamic rule countries, though? Oh, automatic success. Automatic success for IR success. So I'm going to start off. I have my Benziar Bhutto. This is a U.S. event. Well, you play it if no Islamic rule within one country or Pakistan. Well, there's a country, currently one country from Pakistan. So this card will be negated from that event. I'm going to use a jihadist action of recruit. So I'll place 3 cells in Afghanistan.
You can put one in Somalia.
Oh, yeah, the besieged regime is the
First one success.
I don't think that's. I think that's only for jihad roles. After looking at the rules, I think it's only jihad. I think that
You have to have.
It was one success. If you do a major jihad in a besieged regime country, you only need 1 success.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Oh,
You know what I mean?
I still didn't get any success.
Yeah, you roll low, but that's what the besieged regime mean. It still wouldn't mean if I was recruiting. I would first have to test and then I would roll. On my second, and this is with Labyrinth, the jihad player goes twice, and then the U.S. player goes twice. So you can have, you play 2 cards in a row. So in this case, I'm going to play Pakistani offensive. This is play of a Pakistan ally and mark with Fada. This event is also not in play, so I'll use three actions. I'll use 3 actions here. And I'll bring 3 jihad cells to Pakistan. I'll travel them to Pakistan, and that ends my sequence onto the U.S. player sequence.
I guess I'll do a Patriot Act. So it's Patriot Act. I get 3 of these action points. And how do these action points go? I get to put 1 troop in, right?
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? That's the question.
There's so many different things when it comes to America.
Yeah, so are you trying to move troops? That would be a deploy action, unless you're doing a regime change. That's when you move, when you go in with when you go in, you break Islamic rule in there. Yeah, so you do putting troops. You would normally just deploy to another country for whatever the cost or whatever the governance of the country is. So, like if you're moving to a country that had fair value, that'd be 2. You need to play a 2 or a 3 card. Poor countries you could deploy as long as they're not adversaries. You can deploy to a neutral or ally country, or maybe just an ally country. I don't know. It depends, but. With the regime change, you go in with 6 troops, and from one location to the regime change. So it'd be like if you go in Afghanistan, you would play like your 3-out card, what you did, and then you would put 6 troops into Afghanistan, and then you would make a roll. You would basically knock my Islamic rule off.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to do, the minimum amount of troops you can go in with is 6. For a regime change.
How do I turn this to ally?
That would be War of Ideas.
Oh, that's right.
That would be War of Ideas. So you do War of Ideas, you roll your dice. War of Ideas just changes the good poor governance to fair governance. Oh wait, no, that's Islamic rule. Fair governance. And fair, you get to good governance. So the U.S. Player is just trying to get Muslim countries in the Middle East to go get good governance. It just basically means they're not gonna coup. They're not gonna have terrorist training centers to send make more terrorists.
How many people do I need to do a War of Ideas, or can I do it now?
You can do a War of Ideas with this 3, so you have this 3-out card. So that means you can basically do with a 3-out card. 3-out cards are the most powerful, so you can do in any country that's 3, 2, or 1. And that's not an adversary, I believe, right? Because War of Ideas, you can't do adversaries. It has to be a neutral or an ally. Adversaries basically mean like there's sanctions on them. They're not. Potential. They're not open for trade. They don't want U.S. ideas. War of Ideas is basically like the U.S. giving funding to countries, and the country will kind of grow more warm to the U.S. That's basically what, and by doing so, their governance increases, getting to that good governance.
I'll do a War of Ideas on the Gulf state.
Okay. So you roll your 1 dice, and now you have the chart back. So there's War of Ideas. So you're trying to go from fair to good right now.
Fair to good.
So the die roll modifiers for War of Ideas is -1 when attempting to shift from fair to good. If there's any Cold War and terror relations penalties, that's if the U.S. is like a different than the rest of the world, which is very. Prestige right now is +1, so you get +1 to your roll. So -1, +1. Yeah. There's no aid markers, and there's no good allies that are adjacent. So you just roll your dice on your War of Ideas table.
War of Ideas
in Gulf states. Okay. Yeah, well, you could do in Saudi Arabia as well. And that's actually 3.
Yeah. Let me do Saudi Arabia because I have.
And now you actually now you're not attempting to shift to good, so you get your +1.
Yeah. So let's do on Saudi Arabia.
There you go. So it's successful. So poor governance converts to fair governance.
Saudis, they're supplying us with oil.
Now, when you're keeping track of the counters here, now there's 4 fair or good, and there's only 3 poor.
Right, we did a swap-a-roo.
So yeah, keep track.
That's a good.
This one gets moved so much the tracker that it's sometimes not really worth keeping track of. But anyway, so now that was your first card play. Now you can follow up with a heavy hitter. And really get in there. Just get in there.
Alright. I want to play this quickly while you don't have cells in Central Asia. So, if he has cells in Central Asia, it could potentially become a weapon of mass destruction. Kazakh strain. So what I do for the 2 points, I guess I can add troops. I can move troops. There's so many things, man. Where are my troops? Oh, we're going from low intensity to what are these?
War. Yeah.
And how do I throw it into something weird?
What are you trying to do?
I put troops down, but
You're trying to deploy?
Yeah, deploy.
So deployment, as you can see, is you just move. You're moving your troops, any amount of troops. Deploy operation allows the U.S. side to move any number of troops from any one location, including the troops track, to another. Troops may not deploy from a regime change country. The governance of the destination country determines the minimum operations value needed.
So what if I try to put it in Afghanistan? That possible?
It has to be a Muslim country that you move to. Well, that's a regime change. Regime change is a special type of deployment. It requires the U.S. to be a hard posture and at least 6 troops able to deploy from a single location.
Okay.
Destination must be under Islamic rule, and you have to have a 3-up card.
And a 3. Wow,
Yeah.
that's stringent. But you're telling me I can put 2 in a Pakistan?
Yeah. 2-up card, and that's 2 governance. So you could play. You could play that into Afghanistan. So 2 troops are now in Pakistan.
Pakistan. That will be my second move. All right, I guess we're resolved plots.
No plots, so
Okay.
we go back to the jihadists and
The plots. I don't know if you can see that.
you probably can't.
I do have a webcam, but it's the same quality.
Yeah. Like what you would just like set up like right here.
Yeah. And there would be no angle in this.
Yeah. It's really over. Yeah, like over kind of thing. All right, I will play.
We can use the lamp actually. The lamp would come over. Oh, okay, that's possible.
I'm going to play sanctions. Play if Patriot Act is in effect. Patriot Act is not in effect.
Yes.
You played the Patriot Act for the event.
I thought the event.
So you use this for the. So that's why I'm using this here.
Gee.
So I'm going to travel to Central Asia with my first one.
Gee.
So once a sale or something happens in the country, I have to test this country. So to test the governance, I roll 1 dice. If it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's poor. 5 or 6 is fair. And it's a 4. So it gets poor governance and as a neutral Muslim country. Now, what my second card I'm going to play. I will play. I'm going to play HEU, nuclear symbol here. Play if Russia or Central Asia has a cell of no CTR marker. Roll as if one operation there. Success, add a WMD plot to available plots. Failure, remove the cell. And this gets removed from the game. So I roll 1 dice. So I'm rolling on the governance of 3. And it's a 2. So I get a WMD marker so there's, HEU, I guess, was experienced by wayward material. So it's basically like, depleted uranium or something. So now that the WMD goes into the plot box, so the U.S. player doesn't know if what plot I'm using when I do a plot. It could be a regular plot like a car bomb or something, or it could be a WMD with like depleted uranium.
It's still a sleeper, right?
Actually, I think it goes active, right? This HEU. Role at one operation there at W. Yeah, no, it's operation, so it would basically be it would go active as
Okay. WMD plots are always face up in the U.S.
Oh wow, okay.
Yep. So
That you're using an event?
yeah.
Okay, so when the event is played, it's gonna get removed from the game. So WMD plots are always face up, so we get nest here. So that's a game ender right there. This kind of goes in this event in play, so now we can kind of remember nest is in effect. If a WMD plot goes off in the United States, game over, jihadists win.
Great cards, man. I guess I'll do special forces. If there is a cell adjacent to a country with troops, remove the cell. So here's one.
Oh shit.
Here's another.
What is it? Remove the cell.
Or the entire thing? Or
Just one cell. That's one cell, sir.
Oh, okay.
So you remove one cell. So yeah, it's so basically you remove it in adjacent or in the country, but it's only one cell that you're removing.
Okay.
You can remove one from here or one from there.
I'll get one from there.
Okay.
And then resolve plots.
No plots.
Do the funding go down or up or?
No, nothing's gone down or up so far.
Okay.
I'll play Schroeder and Chirac. This is play of U.S. is hard. Set Germany and France to soft posture. -1 prestige.
Oh, -1 prestige. Yes. Germany and what?
Germany, France,
How do I switch to soft?
There's multiple ways. Usually events will do that. Where's Germany here? Here's Germany and here's France.
Oh wait, this is now good, right? Because I rolled it for good.
That was Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it went to fair. Okay, yeah.
So now the GWAT the status. There's one hard country and 2 soft countries. So now the net is 1, -1 now. So to answer your question regarding, you can do a reassessment, which is really tough. You place 2 3-value cards, and you shift the posture from hard to soft.
2 3 values. So that's my entire
turn. Oh, geez. So that one. But that's a reassessment. There's events. Usually, you want to use the events. The events are a little bit usually more forgiving. When you actually want to get stuff out there. I'm also going to I'll play this card for the travel. I'll play this card for travel.
Sure.
That was a 2-off card. I'll travel one guy to Pakistan, and I'll travel another guy to Russia. And he goes back to being a sleeper. And I'm going to roll for Russians. I test Russia.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, or 4, it's a soft. 5 or 6 is a hard. And it's a 4, so it becomes soft.
Wow, I better go soft.
Yeah, so it's right after 9/11, and the U.S. was hard, but then everybody else is like, no big deal. We're all soft right now.
That's what it seems like. Interesting. What is the stipulation on war ideas?
The card that you discard is going to be the governance level. So
This isn't a regime change, is it?
Well,
it has to be neutral or ally, yeah.
So the adversary pores are a little bit harder, or any adversary that's not Islamic rule, you can't regime change.
Yeah.
That's where the event cards come in, like Iraqi WMDs.
Yeah.
Event cards, so you can get troops into Iraq without having an Islamic rule.
Oh, so I can shift this to ally with the war ideas.
Yeah, that's the first step is shift it, and then the second part is actually switching it. So you need it to be ally first, and then once it's allied, then you can get.
Okay. You can play a Pakistan and India troop right now.
Okay, so you want to resolve the event first?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pakistan and India, blocked by India, Pakistan. So Pakistan and India. I test India. So I'm testing if it's good or soft, or hard or soft.
It is soft.
Turns out it's soft. The country's really going soft on Kelso. This game.
The rest of the world is going soft.
Yeah. Israel's still holding out.
All right. And I will push my troops here.
Okay, so you deploy to the Gulf states.
Yep.
Okay. All right, and I will do.
Then it's my second.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Jarizi.
Al Jazeera.
Yeah, and it is resolved because there are no troops in Saudi Arabia.
Or the adjacent country has troops.
Oh no! Really?
That's what it says. Do you want to take your entire turn back?
No, I'll just.
I mean, it's got to shift from good ally to neutral, basically. But you should, you can. I'll let you take that back. Because I'm not. It's basically your turn because it's one card. There's no rolls that you've done. So
Want to take back. Yeah, let me rethink this.
Now, when cells are recruited, they're always recruited sleeper cells. Cells are sleeping until they do something such as do a plot, travel, unless they're traveling adjacent countries, they can stay sleeping. Or no, they always sleeping. When they travel, they go to sleep. But you have to test them if you go beyond one country. The activities like they resolve plots or jihad, those activities will reveal they become active and they're easier to kill.
I can't take out troops unless they're active, right?
Yeah, so like to do an operation in Pakistan, you have troops. So you can do a disrupt operation, which is going to cost 2 or 3 off card because the governance is fair.
Yeah.
And you're hard, so you can do with troops, you can do 2 disrupts. So you can basically disrupt 2 cells.
Yeah.
And if they're already active, you can remove them. If they're not active, you keep up there. You basically go from sleeping to active. So it's kind of it's a hard one here.
Dude, you should see my hand. It's pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine.
Oh, what was the disrupt thing again? Remove cells, cadre, gain 1 prestige. Non-Muslim country, not Iran, at least 2 troops. Affect 1 cell of target's country posture is hard. Affect 2 troops plus 2 troops. Affect 2 cells at 1 prestige. Affected cells go active, or if already active, they are removed. If no cells, remove cadre. If last cell removed, place cadre. Okay. Well. We'll just test China.
Okay.
Yeah.
So test China, place a cell in Central Asia. China's hard, China's soft, and put it in China. So we roll, and we get a 1, which means China's soft.
Yeah. Wow.
That is not good, man.
I just have to shift to
Everything's going soft.
Yeah.
So I put a cell into China. And what are you gonna use on it for the 1 off?
Can I disrupt for 1?
You can disrupt in a country that's governance is 1.
Is 1.
Right? So
Well, then.
Or you have a reserve track too, so you can store 1.
Well.
But like, so any governance is 1, you can disrupt in those countries. But for the U.S. player never really needs a roll. He doesn't roll often. He's just basically playing cards to do stuff in country's governance. The jihad player will always roll because, they're just crazier, just less chance. There's a chance that they get caught or something. When the U.S. moves in force, I mean, they're just pounding. They just need the resources.
I just need to put 1 troop here, right? I can do that.
Oh, that troop actually is a non-troop.
Oh, yeah.
So you're deploying. Where are you deploying a troop?
Pakistan.
So to deploy, you have to deploy toward at that level. So it would have to be a 2 or 3 off.
Oh, man, this game's getting harder and harder.
Yeah. Yeah. The U.S. player is always going to have some good. You're going to have good results with what you do. It just you're limited on your how many offs you have in your hand. So you can put an off in the reserve, and then you can use another off for 1 off card to use 1 reserve and 1 off card for 2 off card. Then you can disrupt.
This isn't fun, man.
So that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 in India and 1 in. Oh, I'll retest India since
yeah.
I took it back. This could be hard. That's soft. Dude, the entire world is soft, man.
Yeah.
We have 5 soft countries, only 2 hard countries. That's really sad.
Oh,
Israel is always hard,
yeah.
just 100%, and then the U.S. right now is hard.
Okay, so then I have 3. That means I can disrupt for 1.
Oh, so you're gonna use your reserve?
Yeah.
So you move your use your reserve. So
I thought. Well, does this?
oh, you need. You can have 2. It's a 2. This 2 off card you can use. You can save this for the end of your turn. So
But this is the end of my turn.
No.
Oh, until the hand comes out.
The hand.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna save that 1 point.
You just want to disrupt these 2.
Yeah.
So 2 cells go active in Pakistan, right? Because according to that, if the U.S. is hard, right, your disrupt actions is it your just if your U.S. is hard or you have to have troops, you get.
It affects 1 cell. If country's posture is hard, affects 2 cells.
Yeah. So
2 plus cells affects 2 plus. I have 1 prestige.
yeah. So you're hard, so you get 2 cells, and you always get +1 prestige if you have troops. If you have troops in the same country that you're disrupting, yeah. So does that only happen if you're hard, or does that always happen in troop thing?
If the target country's posture is hard, I don't know if it's hard or not.
No.
That's what it's saying.
Disrupt. Affect 1 cell of target posture is hard. Affect 2 cells. No, affect 1 cell. If country's posture is hard, so hard countries are going to be like the non-Muslim countries or the U.S. You can affect 2 cells. So you're a Muslim country has to have at least 2 troops.
2 cells go active. Or okay, so it's got 2.
Yeah. So you're using your own country's posture, which is hard. So that's why you get affect 2 cells.
Now, if I was soft, how many would I be affecting?
Oh wait, no, hold on. Never mind. So if it's 2 plus troops, you affect 2 cells. And you add 1 prestige.
Okay. Yeah, that wording got confusing. Oh, you're right about degrees.
Yeah. So the soft countries you can only affect 1. Good hard countries you can affect 2, and then Muslim countries you need to have at least 2 troops to disrupt in that country. So you get +1 posture. Okay, so now it goes to my turn. I'll do detainee release. Play if U.S. disrupted this your last action phase. Place a cell where a disrupt occurred. Draw a card blocked by Gitmo and rendition.
Gitmo, I was supposed to go there.
So I place a cell where a disrupt occurred, and then I draw a card. All right, so that's my first card play. My second card play, I'll play loose nukes. Loose nukes. So play if Russia has a cell and no CTR marker. It has a cell. Roll as if 1 operation there. Success, add a WMD to available plus. Failure, remove the cell. Yeah. So and now last time I could get a 3 because the governance with Central Asia was 3, but Russia's a little bit better governance. Putin and everything. So there's actually it's 2. So I need a 1 or a 2 to get a nuke. If not, I lose the cell. And it's a 1. Now the cell does go active, but I get a loose nuke in my plots. So I get a WMD, another WMD. So I have depleted I have uranium and I have a loose nuke. And I hope that all the words I'm saying are like trigger some type of Anyways, your turn, sir.
Alright. I guess I play the Gaza War. We have to resolve the event if it's Muslim, right? For me.
Yeah, you can decide when to resolve the event.
Prestige is still. I guess I'll do it later.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 2. I potentially have 3. But if I disrupt, do I remove 2?
You can remove 2. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna just disrupt 2. The turn is ending soon, right?
Yeah. Once the turn ends, when all your cards are gone, or you can hold. A U.S. player can hold and discard the last one, or just hold it if the jihad has any cards left in their hand.
Oh,
You can hold your last card.
okay. So that means not playing it, right?
That means because just in case the jihad put the plot down,
Yeah.
you can basically
Do something.
Plot,
Yeah.
basically.
I guess I'll do my third action as a disrupt too.
So that goes back on the tracker there. So there's 5 on each block, yeah.
And then I guess this goes active.
No, so that's your first card play, is just to remove 2.
Well, what if I threw in the reserve?
3 wouldn't mean anything, it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
It wouldn't, it would just be like.
Oh, it's just
if you complete a 3 off card.
Right.
It just adds to the value of the card.
So I discard 1.
No. Oh, is that what is that what it is? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. So U.S. discards 1. That was probably one that was going to hurt you anyways. +1 funding, -1 prestige.
Right.
Now you did disrupt with these troops, so you had +1 prestige anyways. You should have got +1 prestige,
Oh,
right?
that's right. There you go. Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Did lose
Yeah.
that card.
And then
Now with your final card, you can hold. Till I'm done with my cards, or you can play it, or you can, at the end of the game, you basically discard it. At the end of the turn, you discard it.
Okay.
You can hold it as well. You can even hold it for the next turn as well. So
I discard it now, or do I hold it?
You want to hold it until I'm done.
Okay.
Well, unless you want to tell me that you're gonna discard, but that's basically telling me that you don't have any cards left. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
You can let me know if you don't have any cards left, because I'll be gladly. So I'm gonna play 2. I'm gonna recruit 2 in Afghanistan.
Okay.
And that's automatic result because it's a Islamic rule. And this card, this is a really terrible U.S. card, so I'm gonna use it in the first plot. So it's a 1-off card, so I can do 1-off. I'm gonna use it for a plot. I'm gonna plot in Pakistan. Ooh. So I roll on the governance level. So that's going to be a 2 or a 1 for plots in Pakistan. And my plot is a 2. Ooh. So I get to pick a plot that I'm going to resolve in Pakistan. Now, if I pick a WMD, it's going to really be devastating. However, it's not gonna. I lose the WMD if he catches me, if he stops the plot, or if it just resolves normally. I lose the nuke. They don't have extra nukes. I only have 1.
How do I get rid of this terrible?
So now I'm done. So now it goes to U.S. turn. U.S. You have to play a 3-off card to alert to stop the plot from going through.
I can use that.
You can use it, yes.
This is so shitty. Yeah, I guess.
And then you use your reserve to alert.
Yeah.
So you block that plot, so the plot is blocked. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that happens with the plot. It just gets removed. It was my 2. It wasn't a WMD. It was just a 2 plot. And what's this event happen?
Central Asia shit falling over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
Caucus. Oh, no, if remove it, if not, set the caucus to opposite posture of the U.S. So caucus gets soft.
I just need to go soft.
Or test to shift. Oh yeah, I'll just make them go soft. Yeah, because it's either or. So I can shift this to adversary.
Is it really a choice?
Yeah, that's how I read it. Well, I guess I'm not gonna make it go soft. I'll just shift it to adversary. That's how I read it. If CTR isn't in play,
Yeah.
I
So
can do
you
either or,
going
right?
adversary or you going
If not, set caucus to opposite posture of US or test the shift central block. Yeah, I'll just make it adversary. So it's posting jihad.
So obviously resolve plots.
And there's a plot, well, there's one plot that has got you. So that's pretty much the end of
Oh no.
frequency of that. We have a sequence of play. So and turn is gonna go. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Don't you start drawing from the higher side down?
No.
No?
You go from tight to moderate to ample. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so basically, so my funding is on this track.
Yeah.
This is a funding track. This just keeps track of how many cells I have.
Yeah.
This is your troop track. So the troop track is a US track. So once you have access to this block, you get 8, and then once you access this, you have 7 cards. So the more troops you have on the board, the less cards you get. With the jihadis, their cells don't really matter.
Yeah, it's a
The
different
funding
thing.
is this. But I know the sequence of play. And then drop the funding by 1. Funding
There
drops.
we go. I knew something it would
Yeah.
drop eventually.
Drop prestige by 1. If any country is under Islamic rule. Then if that cluster is 3 in the same US cluster, add +1 prestige. So if you were soft and the world was soft,
We'll get 1 prestige.
you would get +1 prestige, yeah. Event last, first plot. Are you just shuffling them?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know. You're just talking.
Reserves, deal. So deal.
All right, you get 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the correct one. Damn terrorist.
So, what I'm going to do. Oh wow. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh wow, dude. Okay. All right, I'm going to play Quartet. Is play of Abbas is in effect. Troops not in overstretch and no Islamic rule adjacent to Israel. So Abbas is not in effect. So it's just 2 ops. I'm going to do a jihad in Pakistan. So a minor jihad. So I activate 2 cells. And I'm basically trying to get a success on the governance level. I'm worsening the governance toward poor.
Okay.
And removing any if it's successful. So I roll 2. I need the governance so I need a 1 or a 2 to make it 4. So it's a success. 1 failure, so 1 cell goes back to the track. The other one's a success. So I make it a 4. I'll play Hamas elected. U.S. selects and discards 1 card from U.S. hand, -1 prestige, -1 funding. Okay. So I get -1 funding, you get -1 prestige, and you can select your card that you want to discard.
Just discard. Okay.
Yeah. Passionary discard.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do reassessment.
Oh wow, that's hard, dude. That's rough. That's rough, man. So you're gonna switch from hard to soft. So you flip your soft. Oh, dude, you went soft, man.
That was sometimes.
All right,
So that was the turn, right?
that was a turn, man. That was
I had to use it for the points, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Result plots. Boom, done. Keep stacking those soft now. Keep stacking those soft now.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's kind of rough on me now.
Oh, that's where you put me.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at the discard real quick.
Sure. We can do a welcoming thing for her.
Dude.
It's hard, isn't it?
No, I have a fantastic hand draw.
Oh,
I was just trying to figure out what this is. Select, reveal, and draw a card other than oil price strike from the discard pile. Add +1 to the resources of each oil country for the turn.
I don't understand what that does.
So I select, reveal, and draw a card other than oil price strike from the discard. And +1 resource to each oil country for the rest. This is for the rest of the turn. All oil price countries are now +1. So look, you have two. So these are, these are countries. So those are resources are just good resources. So if any of these were good, they would move up +1. And then Islam, if this was an oil country, it would move up +1 for Islam. But what I'm going to select is I'm going to select shift this one, Kashmir. Shift Pakistan 1 box towards adversary and place a cell there.
No. This is the one card I didn't want to be added.
And my second card play, I will do I'll do Gaza withdrawal if jihadists place a cell in Israel, and you remove it. And then Israel, of course, is hard, so we don't need to test Israel. And now it's your turn. So now you have soft. You can do all the soft you want.
What is this supposed to do, really? Okay. It's just. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so being soft is not that bad. It just means that you're not. There's some events that stop you, and I think you can't do regime change. Can you? I don't think you can do a regime change if you're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a penalty now.
Yeah. Well, now you can do. Now you get +1 on your War of Ideas.
What do I need for War of Ideas? So I need a 3.
Whatever country you're going into. So like, this is 2s, but you can't do War of Ideas in adversary countries, unfortunately. Yeah. I would just probably pull out troops from Pakistan because Pakistan's about to get very hot. You know what? Just if you want to withdraw all your troops from the Middle East, just let me. I'll take care of it. You can trust me.
Wait, how do I disrupt? Do I have to be hard? Affect 1 cell. Oh, if I'm hard, I affect 2 cells.
Yeah, that's a country. The troops you can always do 2, right? If you're disrupting.
Yeah. Well, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Because
Russia. In the Middle East, yeah. You need to have 2 troops to disrupt. But like, yeah, Russia is soft, so you can take care of the Russia one. Oh, okay.
So 1. Oh, I guess that's it.
No. So how disrupt works is you basically just 1 goes active and 1 you can affect 2 when you have a thing that affect 2. If they're all sleeping, you can only you just shift them to active, but you can say remove 1 and then flip 1 to active basically.
Yeah, I was just removing a sleep one.
Oh, okay.
So the number is
Oh, it is true.
Yeah, I was like,
I got that confused.
Yeah, I was like,
math. I didn't math.
Oh, don't worry. I got you.
You're on your second card play.
How do I shift this to neutral?
That's gonna be like event cards. It's like even with like Iraq and Libya and Syria, all three of those cards like are these countries are kind of like off limits, like for you to just like do stuff in until you get like the Libyan WMDs, like Gaddafi type cards or something. There's a few event cards that like you test the country and you make like shift it to closer to ally basically. Yeah. That's what you want.
This is hard, man. I guess you get to put a cell in UK.
Oh, a cell into UK?
Yeah.
Oh, that's close, man. Would you like to test UK? I'll test UK.
Oh, look, it's soft.
Hey, there you go, man.
I can't do a regime change now. Or, yeah, that'd be hard. And then I will try to flip one of these two. Right? Or ideas. What should I do? I'm gonna do it to the Gulf state.
Yep.
So I need a 2 or a 1.
No. So you roll on the chart here. So you see the success is a 5 or a 6 more, but you have these modifiers. Yeah. So you're basically attempting to shift again, so that's -1. TWAT penalty is 0 because you're on the same side. Prestige is 0. You don't have any adjacent good allies, so you just basically have a -1.
So I have to hit 6.
Correct, but if you get a 5, you get aid.
AIDS.
Yeah, you get AIDS.
5 or 6.
And you get aid. So now on your next roll, you shift it to it's +1. It's +1 on your dice roll.
What happens if I roll another aid? Would the aid stay?
I have to double check that.
Yeah.
I think it's you can have as much aid as you want.
AIDS. Hey.
Not already there. So you only get 1. Yeah. You can't just keep pumping it with rice. Yeah. There's only so much rice and bandages. All right, so I'm going to do Adam Gadahan, American Force of Al Qaeda. Are you familiar with this guy? I remember seeing his face on the TV screen.
Is he a traitor?
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So he's recruiting in the U.S. and so you play his action coupled with the first card is that, and then my second card I'm going to play renditions for recruiting in the U.S. And his play at the U.S. is hard, so you don't get to do renditions. But yeah, so I'm going to recruit for the U.S. in 3, and he gives the opportunity to succeed on 1 and 2. Normally you would have to succeed on a 1, but. So I'm running through the U.S. Let's see what I can recruit. Come on, guys. And I get 1 cell in the U.S.
Sleeper. That sound is back. Life. Okay, because there is a longest rule. I can't use that event. I guess I get 3 points. I feel like I'm burning one. I can't remove that guy, right?
You can just drop him.
I can?
Yeah.
Without troops there?
This is a non-Muslim country.
Oh,
So soft countries you can do one affect oneself. Hard you can do two. Remember, you can deploy too. You can regime change. You can regime change well 6. You have to deploy 6 troops, but you can regime change into Afghanistan. I mean, you can put all the troops into Afghanistan from one location to another location. You can regime change into Afghanistan. Or, well, with the 3, you can disrupt guys in Pakistan.
I need a hard to do a regime change, right?
Yeah.
Damn. How do I get adversary? Do I have to do regime change here to get to neutral? I don't know.
Regime change, you can only regime change in Islamic rule countries.
Man, it's really hard to go from adversary to neutral. Then.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that only events can bring you to.
That's why it was my first hand was so bad, man. 3. I guess I can deploy 3. Can I deploy 3 to Afghanistan?
You have to regime change Afghanistan.
To deploy.
It has to be a minimum of 6 troops.
No. They'll just deploy.
No, you can't deploy into an Islamic rule country.
I can shift. Can I push?
No, you can't deploy into an Islamic rule country. You can't deploy into an Islamic rule country or an adversary country. You only deploy into neutral or ally. Actually, you might not even be able to deploy into neutral. What does it say? No, yeah. Move troops. Let me look at the target for the moving troops. I know you can't move into like. I guess you can. Yeah, no, you can, I guess. And you can, yeah. Troops may not deploy from a regime change country if it would leave fewer than 5 troops in cell. Okay. Yeah, so I guess you can deploy to like any Muslim country. A destination country at the moment of the deploy operation must be an ally and thus be a Muslim country. They have to be allies. You have to be an ally to put troops in there. That's what I was looking for. So ally, unless you want to do a regime change. In the regime change, you attack basically an Islamic rule country.
That requires 6 troops in there.
Yeah.
Or is it 5 plus more?
6 troops they will deploy from a single location.
Yeah.
You make it an ally though. That's basically what you have to go into Afghanistan basically.
I can't even put troops in Pakistan then.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I thought it was neutral or ally, but I didn't.
Oh no, was it? Did it start Tor?
I think it was an ally.
Yeah, I think I put it down and then I
started.
Yeah. Okay.
But either way, now.
Can I put it here?
No, it has to be an ally. So non-Muslim countries, you can't. Now you can bring the troops back home, deploy them from here, but the troop track is considered a one governance. So basically, like I said, with the 3, you can do a regime change into Afghanistan.
Like right now.
Yes. You just have to put 6 troops in there from the troop track.
Okay, fuck it. Let's do it.
Regime change, right?
Yeah.
So now you're overstretched. You have to stop loss guys and stuff. So now you get the
6
regime change here. And this becomes, you roll, test it, it becomes an ally.
Oh, I roll it.
Yeah.
I roll or you want to roll?
You roll.
Okay.
1 to the 4, it's a 4.
Oh, that means I can.
6 is an ally.
Oh, I can't play the event anymore. Oh, well. Hey, at least it's not as long a rule.
Yeah.
3?
So it's a 4.
Straight ally?
Yeah. So now I go down to 0 resources. Nothing really happens. But see, now these troops are kind of stuck here until you can't move troops out of a regime change. So basically, you have to make the governance, you have to have it good. You have to make it good. And then you start moving troops back to like over here.
Okay.
So your troops can't in that quagmire.
So I need a 3 to flip this thing?
Yes, yeah. So if you have another 3-off card.
And how many ops do I need to disrupt? It's whatever is on here.
Yeah, to disrupt. Yeah, to disrupt.
Dang it.
Yeah. And actually, you can't do War of Ideas yet because you need to have 5 more troops in cells.
Yeah.
So if you put enough, you have to basically kill a cell there.
Wait, how was I able to do a war idea here?
Well, War of Ideas you can do in any country that is neutral or ally. It doesn't matter.
Unless it's got cells.
Yeah. So you basically, if I have cells in this one, then it's gonna stop that, I guess. Unless you have more troops. Which actually is a tactic I just realized. So if I'm worried about like moving one of your, like if I see you're like trying to move Saudi Arabia to good, I can put cells there, and then it basically stop you from.
So you need a guy here to start recruiting here.
Jihad, yeah.
But the first success.
Well, no, this is for the jihad. The prestige regime just for jihad. That's what I'm trying to convert government.
Okay. This is terrible, but I guess I'll resolve that now. And you get 1 funding.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will disrupt. I'll disrupt these.
So they become active.
But if I do it here, is that
remove 1? Yeah.
okay? How should I play this?
Okay.
You know what? I'll do the other way around. I'll make these 3 active.
There's 2 active.
Yeah, these 2 active. Cool. Resolve plots.
Your plots.
No
Yeah. My first plot action will be 3. I'll do 3 plots in Afghanistan because, obviously the plots in Afghanistan, you just went into Afghanistan. I have to fight back, right? Oh, so I lose 2 jihadis. And I pick a plot to put in Afghanistan. Now I'm also going to, on my second card, I will play Myrodome Operation. A very strong card. This is skillful suicide attack. Play if a non-Islamic rule country has a cell. This is a non-Islamic rule country. Replace a cell with any 2 available plot markers. And I'm replacing the cell. Oh, wait. There's a nest. I forgot the nest. What does the nest do? Oh, you have to flip it if it's a WMD? Okay, so I'm putting 2 WMDs into the US. Do you have 2 3-off cards?
I only have 1 card, bro.
What does the nest is? Plots and always face out. Okay, thanks for. Fuck! And then those 2 WMDs. Yeah. So that's it now. Yeah, so that's how the Jihad wins. Getting those, I got some really good rolls though. Actually the only way I got Central Asia was getting a good roll in Central Asia and Russia with those loose nuke and HEU strands and stuff. So
did you see the cards I kept drawing?
Yeah, you were drawing rough cards.
Yeah, all rough. Like
and then I drew that really the renditions, but you play when US is hard, and then you switch to soft. So I was like, oh, perfect. But good game overall, man. It's a hard game. This is a hard game. It's not like Risk where you can just these guys attacking those guys. You know, all the actions in this game it's like indirect, with like the exception of disrupt stuff. Yeah. That's like one of the few things that is actually useful.
Into the stream.
So thanks for tuning in.
Till next time. Kelso Draper. KD ratio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, KD ratio. Yeah. Wow, man.